uh, is
Yeah.
is
Based
there
on.
based on our requirement?
Hmm.
If it is there any role is matching our requirement, then it is okay. Otherwise,
Yeah. So
otherwise,
by default, okay, IBM Q Radar is supporting for 10 attempts in 2 minutes of the time period. But what is that is by default IBM Q Radar, it will support same use case. In case interview will ask back, maximum 99% cases they will not ask back. Couple of very technical people, if they will come into the interview panel, they will ask back. Already this correlation rule existing by default and every vendor is providing this use case. What the correlation rule you created? It's not a customized one. It is already default one. In that scenario, you have to manage yourself. Whatever default correlation rule IBM Query, Splunk or Exabeam is providing, so that one we are not utilizing based on my business requirement, based on my business case, based on my security requirement, we have done the modification or customization. In IBM QRadar by default, it will show like 10 authentication failures in the 2 minutes time period. That is not acceptable one. What acceptable one? 3 attempts in 1 minute or else 5 attempts in 1 minute. That is the acceptable, okay, so account lockout policy for any organization. So whatever by default rule it is existing, I will agree with in this scenario how to reply, you have to give it back to the interviewer. I will agree with you. Okay, so whatever default rule it is showing like a 10 authentication failures in the 2 minutes time period. But we have done the modification based on my business requirement and based on my business use case and based on the security requirement, based on the strong password policy or complex password policy in my organization. I have done the modification from 10 attempts in 2 minutes to 3 attempts in 1 minute. That is the way how I have done the modification. And I created a correlation rule. Then
then
he will
which
not ask
uh,
back.
then which role stored, sir? The previous one or
What
modification?
is modification one only?
Okay.
Modification one. Okay. So that is the way how to use. Inter is not about only technical. It's about how to manage also. It's very important. Couple of times we have to accept honesty and couple of times we have to agree with the interview panel also. Okay. Couple of times, yes, maybe they are wrong and we are right. In that scenario, you have to say confidence wise. There is no confusion at all. So example, in this scenario, I have copy pasted same thing from the IBM Q Radar. So here you can see, I will click on the, okay, so next button and we'll see on the wizard window. And after that, I will click on the next button and we'll go to the, and we'll choose the building blocks. Then I will go to the login. Okay, so logic button and we'll define the logic as a, this is the one. BB means building blocks, category definition, nothing but logic, authentication failures. Because here we are writing a correlation rule for authentication failures. And is a Boolean algebra function. At least 10 authentication failures or 10 events. Events meaning authentication failures here. 10 events or logs seen within the same username in 2 minutes. This one I changed from what our default is providing IBM QRadar to 3 attempts in 1 minute in my organization requirement side. And after that, I select the category. So obviously, brute force attack and dictionary attack, password spray attack, all these attack will fall under the authentication. Category is obviously authentication category. Okay. So then I will click on the next button and I will choose the rule action. Under the rule action, we will define the relevance, severity, and credibility. So relevance, severity, and credibility is nothing but risk score in IBM Q Radar. That is called magnitude. In IBM Q Radar side, what is meant by magnitude? Magnitude is nothing but risk score. Only in IBM Q Radar, risk score is 0 to 10. And also in Exabeam, 0 to infinity. I'm repeating once again. IBM Q Radar 0 to 10 risk score for every offense or incident or alert. In IBM Q Radar, incident name is called offense. So Exabeam side, risk score is 0 to infinity. Remaining all other vendors 0 to 100. Is it clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So here magnitude, okay, so magnitude is depending on 3 parameters. One is relevance, severity, and credibility. So magnitude, how we can define? So magnitude is nothing but average of so severity, relevance, and credibility.
Sir, in BB category, definition is authentication failure.
Mm.
And sixth point category of the incident means both are same or something else.
Instant classification here.
Yeah, classification means which type of incident.
Authentication failure. Here we have to choose authentication as a category.
Yeah, BB also authentication category. I mean category of definition also.
Now there we are selecting drop down list.
Okay,
Here
okay.
we are categorizing the whether it is a malware or a DOS or a DDoS or recon. So I know it's very difficult to imagine and also assuming the whatever right now I'm saying. That is the reason. So please go through the video number either 3 or 4 today itself. Whenever you are so looking into this correlation rule, please open the video and check with the parallelly. Clear?
Sure, sir.
What about others, guys? Others?
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir. Will do.
Yeah, use case correlation rule. Whenever you are reading this one, please open the, I think maybe either class 4, maybe I will confirm that one. After this class, I will post it in the WhatsApp group. So either class 4 or class 3, just you can go and you can see, so simultaneously. So that there is no need to assume. There is no need of hypothesis based. Okay. So everything is like a practical now. So step by step you can go. Same thing will be there in the tool itself. So after that, we have to select this one magnitude. So magnitude is nothing but average of severity, credibility, and relevance. So meaning here, for example, take brute force attack itself. So when you say average, obviously in a plus, I mean 10th below standard itself, we know average is nothing but sum of the total score by the total number of the quantity. So severity plus credibility plus relevance divided by 3. So that is the risk score, how it will come. Take example of brute force attack, maybe severity 9. Because regularly this particular attack will come on daily basis. That is the reason severity I'm giving 9. And credibility, so I'm giving like a 7. And relevance, I'm giving 8. 9, 8, 7. Because maximum score is 0 to 10 scale range only. Now what is the magnitude, anyone?
8.
9 plus 7 plus 8. So nothing but 16 plus 8. 24 by 3, 8. So if it is risk score is from 8 to 10, what is severity level?
Critical.
Exactly, critical. Now this particular severity of the brute force attack, so instant alert is critical. So whatever default, so vendor is providing, either you can choose that one. Otherwise, based on your, so business impact side, you can change the severity levels. It's okay. It's not saying IBM compulsory you have to follow whatever we are developing as a product or tool. So you will feel like, severity may be less, our credibility is more. So that is based on our business, whatever we are doing. According to that one, we have to define these 3. Okay. After defining that one, finally what we have to do? So we have to send the notification. So there are different ways how we will receive the alert notification. One is email. What is second one? Any guess? One is email.
SIM tool.
SIM dashboard, that's correct. Third one?
Mobile also.
Mobile also. Third one is mobile. Fourth one? Fourth one is syslog. Not syslog log integration. Syslog is a server. That syslog, it will provide 0 to 9 messages. Okay, so syslog is one of the option. SNMP traps and also reference set. There are approximate 10 to 12 categories ways we can receive the notification. But what is very, very popular one? Alert notification.
Email and SIM tool.
Exactly, through email notification. So that may not only SIM tool, even other tools also. So whenever any alert will triggered, automatically it has come through email to the each and every member. It is available in the team. So that is the way how every organization will define. So here we will provide, for example, I provide soc@tcs.com. Now, whoever is a part of TCS company under the SOC team, every member of the SOC guys, that may be L1 or L2 or L3, they will receive the notification. Okay. So after that, finally, we have to test this use case. How can you test this use case? Whether brute force attack really, whatever logic we provided, it's working correctly or not. How can you verify? This is the logic. That is the reason I provided in yellow color. So you created the test case. That's fine. You want to test that use case, it's working correctly or not. How can you verify? Any guess?
So manually,
Intentionally wrong
we'll
password.
type the password 3 times.
Exactly. Perfect answer. Excellent. That is the correct answer. So wantedly, okay, so manually we will write the wrong password. We will enter the wrong password into the respective Windows machine. So all these automatically, now what will happen? So those logs, it will come to Active Directory and domain controller. From domain controller, it will collect the collector agent and it will send to log collector. Log collector, it will come to the aggregation, parsing and normalization. Those logs, it will send to the log manager, and log manager, it will complete filtering, indexing and querying, and also processing of the logs. And already here we are creating the correlation rule logic. What is the logic here? Multiple authentication login failures. So as a category, under 3 attempts in 1 minute time period, whoever is doing automatically alert will be triggered. Now logic is, it is matching, condition it is matching, algorithm it is matching. Now automatically in the front end of the SIM tool, this is now SIM console. So take example IBM Q radar. So in the SIM console, nothing but ESM or Q radar console or enterprise security manager or user console. Under the dashboard or under the offenses tab, alert will be triggered. We cannot say alert, basically you can say offense in the IBM Q radar side. Offense will be triggered. So that offense now, either we can see under the dashboard or else we can see under the offenses directly itself. Okay, already I think Shravan Kumar is explained about where to see the alert notifications. So now as a L1, L2, L3, we will take care of the respective instant investigation. So this is the way how the overall backend process and how the alert will be triggered in any SIM tool, not only just IBM Q radar. So in any SIM tool, this is the way how the alert will be triggered. Okay. So, but don't think like for every tool, logic is same. Especially maybe logarithm it is same, HP ArcSight it is same. So our IBM Q radar it is same. Next one is McAfee it is same. But Exabeam, Elk, Securonix, and Azure Sentinel, these 4 are query based. So whenever if you want to write a correlation rule, queries are mandatory for those 4s. What are those tools? One is Splunk. Splunk will use Splunk programming language. Even for correlation rule creation also, we have to use SPL, Sentinel, Microsoft Sentinel, not Azure now. Name is changed already. So Sentinel side, we can say KQL, Kusto query language, and Exabeam, it is SQL, structured query language, and ELK, SQL. And one more thing, Securonix. Securonix also SQL. So these tools compulsory, we have to write a query, logic side also. So that is the reason most of the interviews will feel Splunk, Sentinel. Okay, so implementation side, forget about investigations. I'm explaining about only investigation now. Water correlation rule we are discussing, it's a complete investigation. It's not investigation. It's a completely implementation side. So this is backend process. We did not start yet investigation. Did we start investigation?
Not it.
Not yet. So this is a backend process, how the alert will be triggered. And whatever I explained, it's about logic. It's implementation side. We did not start investigation yet. So that is the reason most of the interviews, Splunk Sentinel side and also Elk tool side, people will feel difficulty only because of this one. They will expect either query languages or else they will ask about, do you know how to create a correlation rule using KQL or SQL or SPL? Otherwise, Sentinel is a very, 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 very easy way of incident investigation tool. People are fearing only because of the correlation rule creation. Maybe they will ask in the interview time. Splunk also, it is easy only investigation, but only people are fearing and afraiding because at the time of the interview, they will expect correlation rules using Splunk programming language. Investigation is very simple. You are dedicatedly going for investigation side, any SIM tool that may be IBM or Splunk or Sentinel. Okay, so Exabeam or Elk, any other tools are, it's very, very simple. Just gathering the trias. So gathering the action and payload, victim IP, attacker IP, tactics and techniques and procedure, and log analysis, and so doing the couple of investigations using open source tools like virustotal.com or hybridanalysis.com or MX tool, IP wide, process monitor, process explorer, okay, IBM Xforce or Cisco Talos. Okay, so we will go and we'll paste either IP address or domain name or else URL link or hash value. So finally, we'll check the reputation and we'll take the respective results. And finally, we can make a summary of the report and we can classify the incident as a false first one, true positive. Why the people will feel difficulty in these 4 companies interview? So they'll expect the correlation rule. For correlation rule, obviously, you should aware of the KQL queries as well. That is the reason people will feel difficulty in these 4 tools. Okay, is it clear?
సార్ ఇది లాగ్ మేనేజర్ లాగ్ కలెక్టర్ ఏడీడీసీ సెంటర్ పాయింట్ కి ఇట్లా రావడం లేదు కదా సార్ ఇది మెర్జ్ సెల్స్ సింబల్స్ ఉన్నాయి చూడండి సార్ యారో మార్క్ డౌన్ గా ఉంది ఒకటి
Which one?
ఇది లాగ్ మేనేజర్ లాగ్ ఇవి సెంటర్ కి టెక్స్ట్ బాటమ్ లో ఉంటుంది కదా సార్ అలైన్మెంట్ ఇది మెర్జ్ సెల్స్ ఉంది కదా మెర్జ్ అని మీరు ఆప్షన్ దాని పక్కన యారో మార్క్ డౌన్ గా ఉంది సార్ తల్ల కిందులుగా ఉంది యారో మార్క్ merge.
Is it here?
Yes, go, sir. Right side, go.
Okay.
Arrow mark is there. Arrow mark is there.
Here.
Right side, arrow mark. Right
Yes.
side.
Yeah, this is the one, right?
Yes, beside. Yes. That one you selected, sir. Middle one. Yeah, first of all, you select the box.
No, okay. Understood.
Yes.
The alignment you are asking. Okay.
It is a little bit confusing. That's right.
Okay, fine.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. So that is about.
Actually, I have one doubt, sir.
Please.
Sir, previously, as we discussed in IBM Q radar architecture diagram, in that we are using event processor and event collector, flow processor and flow collector, sir.
Excellent. I understood your query, Sujat. Basically, here, if it is IBM Q radar, generic one, that's what I said before starting itself. Whatever I'm explaining about this particular process is dedicated to the normal SIM tool architecture diagram. If it is IBM Q radar, just we have to change the terminology. So here we have to change it event collector or data collector or else flow collector. I will agree with you on this one. And here we can say event processor.
You are explaining a traditional way, right?
Yeah. I'm using here and there. Yeah, I got it now. Yeah. Event processor and flow processor. Is it fine now?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, it's a good question. Thanks for asking. Yeah, so this is the way how the backend alert will be triggered. Now, so here total 5 use cases I created for the IBM Q radar side, and also on the one more, I think, very cyber and network attacks. Yeah, please, how many people are reading this documentation, by the way? Are you going through all this documentation? People are asking material, right? Please go and read all this material.
Yes, sir.
But it's a very high vocabulary. So I created this one long back, by the way. So I forgot to say one thing. In the couple of interviews, most of the people give the answer. A couple of event IDs they will ask. especially event ID 4625 and 4624. Most of the candidates will give the answer these two only. Event ID 4625 belongs to authentication failure of the Windows, and event ID 4624 is belongs to successful authentication. But nowadays, interview people are not asking about those two only. Other than those two, can you give 3 or 4 examples of the other event IDs in the Windows system? These event IDs is not applicable to Unix operating systems like Red Hat or CentOS or Docker or Debian or Ubuntu or Feroda. Okay, this event IDs is dedicated applicable to Windows. Other than those two event IDs, just you can remember at least 3 or 4 from the interview point of view. Is it clear? There are so many I given, approximate, okay, 20 to 30. It's very difficult to remember 20 to 30. At least you can remember. So obviously how to remember these two, it's a mandatory. Event ID 4625 and 4624. Other than these two, you can remember another maybe 3 or 4. Clear? Is it clear or not?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
your
sir.
choice. I'm not giving compulsory how to say this one. Your choice. Okay, there are 20 to 30. Just you can choose whatever you like. 2 or 3. Other than those two. Okay, and one more thing. So why I opened this one now? So I want to explain about exabeam correlation rule also is equivalent to Splunk as it is. So whatever I pasted here, you can see V square. V square is my, Bangalore where I taught respect to training. So they given respect to header. Yeah. So these are all the exabeam, and also you can keep it for Splunk also. For both, it's fine. Okay. So these correlation rule, you can keep it for both Splunk and also exabeam. Whenever you're going for exabeam interview, Splunk interview, Securonics interview, even ELK interview also. So dedicated to Splunk and exabeam and ELK and Securonics, for those types of correlation rules, you can prepare only one and you can explain. This correlation rule is a little bit complicated as compared to IBM Q and logarithm. You can see IBM Q said it's very simple. Only 2 lines of the, okay, so respective, 1 second. Yeah, 2 lines of the logic. It's very simple and very straightforward. So this is for the logic side of the authentication failures of the same source user. This for DOS attack I created. Okay. This is for the failure from disabled account. So what is mean disabled account? Before going to Splunk and exabeam correlation rule, I will explain this one. Anyway, before going to second correlation rule, DOS and DDoS. DOS and DDoS meaning a denial of service and distributed denial of service. So attacker will target single targeted mission. Single attacker will target single targeted mission that may be server or database or application or end user mission or cloud instance, so that he will send the flooding of the request. Because of the flooding of the request, so targeted machine or server or database or application or cloud instance will become either unavailable or damaged or crashed, or business disruption will occur. Because of the unauthorized attacker, authorized people or employees or end users is going to lose the service. That particular attack is called as a DOS attack. If it's a DDoS, so distributed denial of service, full name. So multiple attackers, or else a single attacker from the multiple systems will target the single system or server or database or application or end user machine, so that he will send the flooding of the request once again. So that may be TCP or UDP or ICMP or ARP or ping of death or ping flood or MAC. Okay. So that target machine will become unavailable, or business disruption will occur, or business interruption will occur, or damaged or crashed or unavailable. Because of the unauthorized attackers, authorized users or employees are going to lose the service. That is called distributed denial of service attack. If you want to mitigate this one, obviously what we have to do, in parallel to ISP router, we have to deploy anti-DOS and anti-DDoS. And whenever any flooding of the request, it will occur. So that particular traffic, it will go to the anti-DOS and anti-DDoS tools like Akamai, Barracuda, Imperva. based on the signature based or based on the machine learning capability, either it will block that flooding of the traffic or else it will generate the alert notification to us. So second mitigation is in the firewall side, we have to configure the rate limiter throttling. So we have to configure the rate limit throttling for TCP flood, UDP flood, ICMP flood, ARP flood, MAC flood, ping of death and ping flood attack under the DOS policy. Third mitigation is we have to implement network IDS and network IPS, and we have to create a policy related to DOS and DDoS. So based on the signature based and based on the machine learning, either it will block the respective flooding of the traffic or else it will generate the alert notification. So these are all the mitigation side for DOS and DDoS side. So now if you want to create a correlation rule or use case for this one, so you should be aware of what is the attack now. Okay. So what is the attack here? Flooding of the request attacker will send to single targeted mission. So that flooding of the request may be 50 events per second or 100 events per second or 10,000 events per second. So all those are different types of events per second. How we can define these events per second or requests per second? It's not like a 1 day job or 2 day job, 2 days job, sorry, 2 days job. So if you want to define the rate limit or throttling, we have to monitor the traffic approximate 1 month or 2 months. Then only we can define the baseline or rate limit or throttling. So peaks of the traffic and off peaks of the traffic. So 9 to 12, it's a peak traffic, and 12 to 2 lunchtime, it's off peak hours, and once again 2 to 6, it's like a peak hours of the traffic. So according to that one, after observing the 1 month or 2 months of the time period, what are maximum related traffic transactions or requests it is appearing. On top of that one, once again, we have to keep 30% buffer. For example, one of the database server, maximum request it is accepting 10,000 per second. But maybe in future, couple of applications will increase, couple of users will increase, database transactions will increase. So it's like everything based on is like assumption. Rate limit and throttling also assumption. So that is the reason. So we have to keep on top of that one. We have to think about future also, forthcoming as well. Transactions also. Whatever maximum transactions or requests per second we define, on top of that one, you can keep 40% for 1 year. Next year, another 40%. So next year, another 40%. That is the way how we have to define the rate limit. For example, as I said, for database server, Oracle database. So right now, events per second is 10,000. On top of the 40%, how much it will come? 14,000. That 14,000 rates per second or data rate per second, we have to define the logic now. Whenever 1 second time period, attacker is sending the flooding of the traffic more than 14,000, automatical alert has to trigger. That is the logic here. Clear? Clear or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That means if you want to create a correlation rule, first you should be aware of the attack. You should understand about the attack. Then only you can give the logic. There is no rocket science is involved here. It's very simple. That means you should be aware of the respective attack. Then you can define the respective, okay, so logic. That's it. So here I given, okay, so 50 events per second. Maybe you can change it to 10,000 events per second in 1 minute time period. And additionally, you can keep database server. The database server may be Oracle. Oracle, or otherwise you can keep 10.10.10.1. Okay, so here two different types of conditions I provided. One is 10,000 events per second. Recently, I created the correlation rule for DOS attack for one of the database server. So that is the way how you have to explain. I logged into the IBM Q tool. I went to the offenses tab. I clicked on the rules tab. Then I clicked on the actions tab. I clicked on the events flows and modified the correlation rule. And after that, I clicked on the next button. Then I have chosen the building blocks as a flooding of the respective request. And I used a Boolean algebra function. That Boolean algebra function, water correlation rule I created for the database server, DOS and DDoS category of the attack. So here I provide and is a Boolean algebra function. 10,000 events per second. I have done the baseline for maximum requests per second after validating with the database team in one minute, not even 1 minute, 1 second here, 1 second on database server on 10.10.10.1. So finally, I provided the category of the attacks are DOS and DDoS, and I clicked on the next button, and I provided severity, credibility, relevance, and I provided the rule action as a email notification. After that, wantedly from the testing machine, so we send the flooding of the request to the database server, and we tested whether alert will be triggered, and based on the logic whatever we created, and successfully the testing is verified, and finally we raise the change request and we implement in the production environment. So this is the recent correlation rule I created for one of my Oracle database DOS attack in IBM Q Radar tool. So instead of IBM Q Radar, instead of the Oracle database, maybe you can keep SQL or MongoDB or maybe Cassandra. So, and so on. Clear? So these steps are common, guys. Up to 5th step and up to 6th to 10th steps. All these are common for every instant correlation rule creation. Only logic will be different. These logic only they'll expect from us. Okay. So that is about DOS and DDoS. DOS and DDoS also both. Next one is failures from disabled account. First of all, disabled account. Example, maybe you tried your Windows username and password more than 5 attempts. Automatically, what your account will be happen based on the account lockout policy or maximum threshold attempts, your account will be locked out. Then who will be, okay, so unlock that particular attack or reset the password? Obviously, Active Directory team. Yeah, Active Directory team. So, but here use case you can understand first. Failures are coming from disabled account. Already account is disabled, but how the failures will Windows authentication login failures it will appear? Already your account is okay. So your Windows account is already disabled. Nothing but you are not able to enter into the account. Account is blocked, it is showing. But from that machine, login failures are coming from the attacker or maybe internal employee. How is that possible? Any guess? Any guess? How is that possible practically? Did you understand my question, by the way?
Yes.
Any guess? Yeah, basically, all these credentials will be stored in the cache or cache. That's called temporary storage. Temporary storage of the Windows machine it will store. So it will try to reconnect continuously unless otherwise you don't clear the cache. So backend it will try to continuously reconnect that particular activity. It will try to reconnect using NTLM authentication or Kerberos authentication or SAML authentication mechanism. So these are 3 different types of mechanisms we can use to log into Windows machine. Okay, so these credentials will try to, okay, you already tried 5 attempts, account is locked out. What machine will think or cached passwords will think? So it will retry to connect like a cookies. So because of that, there is a login failures, it will appear. That is the reason. It's one of the favorite interview question, by the way. For that one use case here.
Disabled account and also terminated account.
Yeah,
also.
terminated account also same as it is. Terminated account also already terminated meaning here. Maybe they terminated from the organization or maybe employee is resigned from the organization side. Employee is today is last working day and already he left the company today. From the Active Directory team, he will disable the account. Okay, he will hand over the laptop. But from his account, okay, login failures are coming.
Sir, is it not possible to clear the cache to avoid this?
No, it's possible. So that one has to take in help desk or service desk team regularly.
Okay, understood.
Yeah, not our user side. So for those use cases, guys, so out of 4 or 5, just you can read only one and whatever you are thorough on that one, please explain only that particular use case for each and every interview. Maybe you're explaining brute force attack, explain a brute force attack in the today interview, tomorrow interview, day after tomorrow interview. in the IBM Q header directly, or don't specify the respect to tool name. Otherwise, you can explain DOS or DDoS. Otherwise, you can explain about terminated account or maybe failure or disabled account.
Sir, one more doubt.
Yeah.
We should inform to the related team to catch it. I mean, when we are getting again and again this type of category of attacks, once it is not critical. So before closing this ticket, we have to inform to that related team to clear the cache or something else. What do you have to do, sir?
Yes, we have to inform to the Active Directory team or else help desk and service desk team to clear the caches regular basis, like a scheduled task.
It is our task, sir.
No, it's not our task. It's not at all our task. And session is going to explain. Once again, you can re-log in into the session. Okay. So yeah. So yeah. Anyway, you can rejoin. It is going to expire within